Hello, welcome to your up-leveled footwork that you're going to be doing. Before we get started though, I would like to say, when you sit down to do your footwork, I want you to just take a moment before you put your feet on anything to just give a moment to assess. Maybe just move your feet just a touch, kind of get a sense of how are your feet feeling today. If you're in a day where your feet are just feeling a little bit more tender, if you're in a day where you're in a flare and everything feels a little bit more sore and agitated and aggravated, go back to video 1, the softest version when you're having a flare day. And then on the days where you're feeling good and the feet feel like they're ready for a little bit more, then that's going to be the work that we do today. You're going to want your eye pillows. You're going to want your 4 small balls. You're going to want your pink bouncy ball. The eye pillows can be microwaved. You can put them in the microwave for a minute, and then that gives a nice warmth. If you're having a day where everything feels inflamed and heat doesn't feel like it would be beneficial, don't do the microwave. If you have a day where your feet are feeling a little bit cold and a little bit tight, warmth can go a long way to loosen up the fascia and the muscles. So microwave or no microwave, totally up to you. Just get a sense before you sit down to do the work, how do your feet feel? Once you have a sense of how your feet are feeling, one eye pillow is going to go long ways, and you're going to set your 4 mini balls up on it, and then you're going to place your foot lengthwise on those balls. And then if it feels good, you're going to take the other eye pillow and just rest it on top of the foot. So that's going to be our foot in resting position. That's going to just feel like nice, hopefully. The other foot's going to get a little bit of the pink bouncy ball work. So you're going to put that ball down on the ground. I say lean back to start, and you're just going to start by rolling through the bottom of your foot. Soft roll. The beauty of these pink bouncy balls is as they start to warm up, or as you start to apply a little bit more pressure, they have a little bit of squish and give to them. When you go along, you're just going to kind of roll through the length of your foot, similar to what we've done before. And I'm just moving across my foot like big toe line, second toe line, and so on. So you're just moving up and down and going slowly over and across. As you start to do this work here, you're going to take a moment to assess. How does that foot feel? How does that foot feel? Anything feeling off, you're going to stop doing it right away. You want to make sure everything feels good. Once you have good discernment, once you have a good collaborative conversation going on with your feet, and you've got a sense of like how they're feeling on a daily, you can apply more pressure as needed or go places that feel just beneficial. So good discernment, use your interoception, tune into what's feeling right in your body. Notice your breath. Notice your jaw. If at any point you hit a point where your body sort of jolts and jars, that's no good. We don't want that. So stay off of those points. All right. So we've rolled through the bottom of the foot just enough. And now we're going to see if we can come forward with a little bit of body weight. Same thing here. We're going to go slow, going the length of the foot, moving across. So big toe line, second toe line, and so on. Now we're going to do similar work in the ball toe mound. I'm going to zoom in. So when we do the work on the ball toe mound, it's a little bit of a rhythm. So you're just going to move it a little up and down across the foot. So you go from the big toe side to the pinky toe side. I'm going to lift my toes just to hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of what's going on. So we're just moving across that ball toe mound and a little bit up and down. A controlled rhythm so it feels nice. If you get there and you're like that forward body weight feels like a little bit much, then you can lean back just a little bit. So finding at this point just the stuff that feels good, where you can kind of get a little bit more depth, and hopefully here that pink ball is giving a little bit of give underneath so it starts to warm up with your feet. All right, one more moment there, and then you're going to find that sweet spot that we talked about, that between big toe, second toe, slightly underneath the curve of that big toe mound. You're going to find that little sweet spot, and if you can, you'll lean into it just a little bit. So it's going to put a little bit of that compression into that fascia and connective tissue. Ease up if it doesn't feel good, but if it feels nice there, wiggle your toes up and down just enough, and then check in with your breath. One more wiggle up and down, and then we're going to move that ball down so it comes underneath the heel. So you're going to get it underneath the heel, forward body weight, because the heel's got a lot of that dense connective tissue, shock absorbing material. And then if you can, you're going to just do this little pivot of the heel. Notice your breath. All right, now you're going to pick up the toe and the ball of the foot, and you're going to do a little pivotal movement there, just like you're just trying to squish the bug or do the Sandy putting out the cigarette, little grease. All right, one more moment there, and then you're going to come back to that lengthy roll. But now if you can, so hopefully here your foot's feeling a little bit more supple and a little bit more warm, you're going to put a little bit of that forward body weight, so you can push down with your knee or push down with your hand. You can find just like let your whole body kind of move along with you. You can also do this work in standing, but I find that the seated variation is just really nice because you get a lot of good control. All right, one more roll through the bottom of that foot, and then just let your foot rest across that ball. We're going to take it over to the other side. So you're going to push a little bit down with your hand, and then you're going to use your hand, and you're just going to gently manipulate that foot, just a little rocking from side to side, nothing extreme. Just allow a little time for the fascia to wake up. It's been doing that nice compressed work. It's just taking its time there. Wake it up just a little bit, find that little touch of rhythm, and then a little wiggle of the toes up and down. P to the S, where those balls land on the foot, it's mostly length of the foot, so find just a comfortable place. You can always play around with the positioning of the balls. If you have spots that want a little bit more attention, you can adjust them or arrange them in a way that feels good. This one for right now, those little ones, we're only going to stick with just that still work supported underneath the cushioning of the eye pillow. We'll go further with them later, but for right now, let's just stick with this. Give those toes last little wiggle, and then take a second to take both feet off of everything and just do that little check-in. How do your feet feel? And now you're going to rewind the video, flip and reverse your tools, and work everything into the other side. So your other foot's going to get the pink ball, and then this guy's going to get those mini balls. And then just when you're done, just take a second to come back around, assess, make sure everything feels good. Have a sip of warm water. Warm water is really great for hydrating all of that fascial tissue. And I hope this feels really great. Check back in with me after you've done your first round and let me know how things go. And again, just rewind the video, repeat the process. You should be good to go.